It's good, man. That's good. It is good.
How many dabs do you just have in that span of like 10 minutes?
I had two. There. I reheated one twice though. If people were listening in pretty close, they probably heard that. I'm not sure though.
Classic.
Just gonna readjust my mic now after having that.
You stay Brady. Did you hear? Oh, Brady's here.
Brady is here. We are ready to go. I hope you guys appreciate this. Let's talk about this for a quick second here, people. This is Calvin Kattar. I scoured through his Instagram on the right, obviously. This is Calvin Kattar on the right. Probably 4 or 5 years ago, maybe more, on Halloween. It's like way deep in his Instagram. And he was obviously a homeless person.
So him like what, 28, I guess. 28-year-old Calvin Kattar.
And as you can see, I kind of tried to adjust it, the shadowing and stuff like that. So it reads, "Spread some cheese on me. This cracker is broke."
No, you read that wrong.
Whatever. Spread some cheese on this broke cracker.
There you go. Do him that justice at least.
And he's got it's a beautiful costume. Like, I love it. But he's got the bottle in his hand wrapped. He's got the spoon, and he's got the lighter lighting up what is seemingly supposed to be heroin. Fake heroin. And I cropped this out of a somewhat of a family photo, a family Halloween party he was at. And then as far as on the left, this is also Max Holloway at Halloween, but he was a pirate. And the sword he had was pretty cool. The sword went all the way down to the ground. It was hard to crop though because it was outside.
What is it about? What is it about Max Holloway and that like style of like collar? Eh? He always has a massive collar, doesn't he?
See, Dan, this is kind of where I'll get into it with you.
It's because he has a smaller neck.
It's because he's got probably a chest and neck and upper body tattoo. I would call it pectoral tattoo. That's probably, I don't know, lots of money. I was going through his Instagram, so I saw when he got that too, and he got it in pieces and parts. He wants to show that off. People with tattoos like that want to show that shit off. But yeah, it's his costume.
I don't even know.
Okay,
yeah, fair enough.
He had his hair all done up. It's hard to see because it's not as big, but he had his hair all like kind of done up. He kind of like, this is kind of when it was a crazy costume. It was a crazy costume. There were some other photos in there, but that was kind of the best one. I liked that he had the sword in that one, but it was hard to get, so I kind of just cropped it and cut it. I should have just cropped another sword on there, but that is what it is. You know what I mean, people. But yeah, as far as that goes, I'm laughing at that Calvin Kattar photo because I was laughing at it before earlier when I was cutting it out. It was so hard to trace because I was just was laughing my face off. You know what I mean? What is going on though, people? It's the surgeon here with Dan again, and me and Dan are just kind of gonna go over the whole entire card as far as what we're betting on, why we're picking it. We kind of already did a pretty in-depth video as far as going through what picks we kind of like and for what reasons, but I have the tendency to, you know what I mean, when you're betting and you're trying to make money, and as far as being money to be made in certain lines and stuff like that, like, you always have to look at it as not necessarily picking your favorite all the time. You know what I mean? And I don't mean wasting a lot of money, but I mean, like, there is fights that, you know what I mean, if they're close enough and, you know, maybe what, like, as far as skill wise and in the mind wise and numbers wise, as far as what I'm looking at and as far as what I'm seeing at least, and the numbers don't dictate to that to me, it may be sometimes, obviously this is a common knowledge, to go with the guy that is, you know what I mean, an underdog, or maybe not as good odds. So I sometimes do have the tendency to, you know what, I swap the picks up, or sometimes, you know what I mean, look at other stuff at least. Dan, by the way, you're muted. I don't know what you're doing. I don't know if you were just gone now, or...
Yeah, sorry, I was just taking a little bit of my food.
Oh, okay. All good. Should we get into this first fight right off the bat that we're going to look at? And it's not too exciting, but we got a couple lines here, and these are shitty photos. The better photos come later. I had to end up zooming it in a lot more than just the cropping it from there. It didn't look through well. And all the lines are from Betway. as far as the first fight goes, that we're gonna kind of look at, and it's not even that we're gonna look at this one as far as to maybe bet much here. But Dan, what do you think about this first fight as far as even like throwing some money around? Because I always like to get it going off the start of the night, so maybe throwing a little bit of money on Kilburn would that be? And it's Kilburn versus Austin Lingo. I can also pull the fight card up. It's this card.
Okay, well, first off, shout out Brendan, which I love if you see his YouTube photo. That's hilarious. What is that? Oh my god. Okay, never mind. That's like one of his other random fucking buddies from high school, whatever. But I think we were both kind of leaning Lingo last night, right? You know, I don't know. I think my kind of conclusion wasn't really betting on the fight like straight up. Like obviously, if you're a Kilburn fan, that's a good line, and you're thinking it's a good line. But I think Lingo by decision was the only thing I was really considering, which is at.
Yeah.
I don't know if you could you see it on that first graphic, or was it one of the later ones?
I'm pulling it up right here for everybody to look at. It's not. I have so many photos that it just doesn't even load them. That's how funny it is. That's Lingo 2. Is that Lingo by decision? It has it on points right there.
Yeah, 3.1
on points. 3.1.
I think that's pretty good. I think that's pretty good.
I like that.
We're a pretty heavy favorite.
I'm not opposed to it.
Because really, I don't know. Kilburn's been submitted a few times. He hasn't really been like taken out of there. So like obviously like it's a possibility that he gets taken out of there. But I think Kilburn will be tough enough, and he kind of needs to win the fight. So I think he'll be there, be able to stay around for 15 minutes.
Yeah, both guys, like we were saying and kind of recapping yesterday on the video. If you want to go back there and watch it, I need to go through and watch it. Rewatch it kind of myself and through the timestamps in it. So I apologize for anyone that's kind of pissed off there's no timestamps in it, because I actually need to put timestamps in it for myself. So you know what I mean. When it gets closer to the fight, I can go rewatch what I fucking said. You know what I mean. But as far as kind of what I was talking about, kind of going back off my notes from last night, like. Just looking at kind of Lingo, both guys like we were talking about, Kilburn as well, both 0-1 in the UFC. Lingo 7-1, Kilburn 8-3. Lingo 3 knockouts, 2 submissions, 4 finishes in under a minute for Lingo. So it is one of those ones where, you know, maybe you could even the Lingo to win on round 1 isn't the worst. You know what I mean? Wouldn't be the worst. Is Kilburn a top level guy and maybe not like one of these guys, these cans that he ran through as far as his 4 finishes in under a minute? Yeah, probably. I would probably have to say.
Yeah, I think I'd say so. Those were in the UFC for one, but or I don't know
exactly.
But I don't know. Anything's possible. Obviously, I think 4-1. You're not gonna. I don't know if you think you're not getting enough value there to make sure you get him out there in one round. What's his last couple fights? Were they finishes or were those decisions? Or is he on like a streak of finishes?
Well, he's on the decision loss to Yusuf Zalal, and then his fight before that, he got a 21-second knockout. And then I believe his fight against Foster, he got a... I'm just checking it right now. This is 3 fights ago. This isn't even in the UFC. This is in some... So yeah, then he had a fight against. Okay, so yeah, I went to the. He had a fight against Cruz. That was also So basically, all before the Zalal fight, Dan. Going before the Zalal fight, he had a streak of 3 first round knockouts inside of 25 seconds.
Well, obviously that's how he got to the UFC, I guess.
Yeah.
Right. I don't know. Yeah, that's definitely a way that you can lean for sure. Absolutely.
Exactly. I don't mind.
At 4-1, if he's
looking at it. Now that we're looking at it, like, and bringing this shit up, 4.5 was it just 4 straight up, 4-1? Yeah, I could see myself throwing a couple shekels on that.
Can you flip?
Even starts.
Do you have the other graphic for like Kilburn by stoppage or no?
Of course I do. It's just bad. It's just not as
I meant Lingo by stoppage. Yeah.
It should be in there. It's just not. It's not as zoomed. These ones.
So maybe actually, kind of what I'd be considering more is honestly. Now that you've brought that up, I kind of think he's actually if he gets Kilburn out of there, Might just be more worth it to just play the KO, TKO, DQ submission one. Because like you never know. You never know what can happen. A guy can just get clinched up on the fence for 5 minutes. So at 4-1 odds, it's not like a miscalculation on like the bookie's part. You know what I mean? Where we can get some pretty decent value. But get 2-1 if you throw that in like two. If you threw that in the parlay or something, I think that's what I'd be into. Especially like first fight of the night, you're not going in. You don't want to go in too heavy, or unless you're somebody that tends to just go trying to get a nice spark off of the night. Depends how you lean.
Yeah, I'll probably put some money on the. I'll probably honestly, if you're looking at the way if you're asking me, I'm gonna take Lingo by decision, like I said in my like prediction video, and then I'll probably bet that maybe. What is that by decision to win on points? Yeah, I'll take that, and then I'll also take the round 1.
Hedge
And
it that one.
Hope it. Yeah, I'll hedge it like that. I think it's too stupid not to. I like, even though some of these guys are a little bit more like obviously unexperienced, not in thing. Like you made the good point of last night. You said all of his fights were in LFA, right? Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah. He's a round 1 finisher. Like if we're looking at these fights, it goes Foster, Benjar, and then he got a decision, then another first round, then another first round, then another first round, then the decision lost to Zalal, and now he's got this fight coming up. You know what I mean? So like realistically, I don't mind throwing some shekels around on that to get the night started. I'm not stupid. I'll probably throw some money on that. Not sure if I'll throw that in a parlay, but definitely maybe some solo money. Throw like $10 on it to start the night out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree. And then definitely like, yeah, I think at the end of the day, we're kind of just saying pretty definitely betting, not betting on Kilburn. Start off the night.
Yeah, we're not betting on Kilburn to start off the night. That's 1,000% sure. This is the Zawada one. These Zawada picks are kind of scuffed a little bit too, but as far as these Zawada lines, let me pull them up on my shit, because even looking at them on the computer, they're so scuffed. I don't know about this fight. This was a fight that Dan told me not even to put on here, and said, obviously. I think the way to look at this fight, as far as what it is at right now, is probably a dog or pass situation at 3-1 odds. Sorry about people that look at stuff in different types of odds. I don't know why, and I don't know how. I think this is the easiest way to do it. I can do simple math off the top of my head if I'm trying to make a parlay or something, or compare odds or something like that. Obviously, even just to, like Dan was saying, like to layman's terms, you can just honestly look at someone and Get the fuck out of here. What is that? What is that supposed to mean? You've changed your background out of Tony the Tiger after it previously being you? Okay, that's awesome. I love it.
Well, that's fair enough. Like I would have. That's obviously going to change.
I know, but I like the photo of Drew. Well, the photo of him.
I know
before.
it's cute. It's a cute photo. Should have kept that.
But as far as this Sawada fight and this Ameev fight, Dan, are you touching it all or no?
Sorry. Can you? Yeah, I'm just sorry. I'm just gonna try and look at the
graphic on this. You're gonna have to pull something else up.
Just take down Drew's comment for a second.
Oh, sorry about that. Yeah, you can't leave comments up because these things.
Just for when we these up. Yeah, like the only thing I think Ameev's probably gonna end up just winning on points. Like, I think like we're both pretty much saying Ameev's probably gonna win the fight, right? And
yeah, I was.
But like at 1.9, again, you could throw that maybe if you wanted to tail that with the stoppage from the previous fight with the Ameev on points in this one, maybe something like that. But no, I probably wouldn't bet the Ameev on points straight up. Not enough value there.
I think he does have like I said, like in my breakdown, this fight definitely is going to be close. I said this fight's definitely going to be a lot about. This definitely is going to be a really good fight. I think this fight's going to go down to a lot of a lot of both guys they're both kind of heavy hitters in their own way. Like Ramazan can wrestle, like Zamiev can do all of his kickboxing ability and have the ability to submit you from a lot of different places. Zawada does have the reach as well. Dan, I think it's a reach advantage. Like I can't find it. You have something like 8 inches.
Is it at the top column? Do you have those notes in front of you? Or the top column?
I know because I wrote down my notes. I wrote the fight down in my notes, and I didn't get.
Oh right,
no,
your
I got
hand.
Zawada at 6 foot, but I have Zawada at 6 foot 75-inch reach, unless I'm wrong.
Not sure.
Unless Amiv's like got T-Rex arms, you know what I mean? Ben, we're gonna get to that. We'll speed through these other fights. But as far as this fight, we're probably not. As far as I'm looking probably Amiv. It could definitely be a close fight. If you want to throw money on Zawada, it's kind of like a dog or pass situation.
Here,
I don't think I'll have.
Sorry,
Amiv
I'm going to tell you the physicals right here. So, Zawada is 6 feet tall, 75-inch reach, and Amiv 5'10",
Terminator.
68 and a half. Sorry, yeah, 68 and a half inch reach. So I don't know. That's like a little under. What is that? 6.5 inch reach advantage for Zawada. So I don't know. Maybe Zawada might be able to end up outpointing him. But I think at the end of the day, what were you saying? Isn't he Amiv like a world champion of sport or a master of sport in combat sambo?
Yes.
Yeah. So I don't know. Like you said, I think pretty much we were saying yesterday. We're not betting kind of against that. I don't know. I'm not gonna lose money on just some Russian guy that's just gonna grapple him all night, right?
Are you still here?
Holloway decision, max units. What's the definition of max units? Please tell me that.
Shermanator just got the moderator tag. Shermanator's now able to slap the hammer down on people. Welcome, Shermanator. Okay, so as far as that fight, we're going to get off that fight. I don't even want to talk about it. It's as far as us trying to make money on that Zawada fight. There's the other stuff. Will the fight go the distance? You can look at that. I mean, I don't know.
Not really even worth it enough for me.
Not worth it, I don't think. Amiv by decision. I might do.
I'll probably throw it, and if I do anything, like I said, I'll probably throw it in a parlay with. Sorry, what was his name? With Lingo by stoppage. If I'm doing like an undercard parlay, I might do that.
Absolutely. I was thinking as far as that's probably it. That's probably it for sure on this fight. We're gonna move on. I don't really want to talk about this fight, like I said, anymore. That's probably it for that fight. This is Tafa 1. Sorry. That should be Tafa 1. Does that that should have the straight up odds at the top. If it does not, let me know and I will swap it. But I believe it does. So with this fight, we got Justin Tafa versus Carlos Felipe. Like we said, this is a banger.
It doesn't have the straight up at the top. I don't think, does it?
It doesn't?
I can't see it now.
Did it cut off? Dun dun dun. I might have cut it off. Might have chopped it. Might have oxed it. Oh, you know what the problem might be? The photos might be too long for fucking StreamYard. Ha 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 ha. There's no way.
It's alright. I can just tell you what the live line is. It's Felipe 1.53 to 1.
I have it right here, yeah.
And Tafa 2.5 to 1.
So, guys, this is a heavyweight bout of guys that both pretty much want to stand in the middle, like I was saying yesterday on my breakdown, and pretty much scrap, throw down, and bang. They don't give a fuck. Felipe, you're gonna see him really playing to the crowd, or no crowd, but whoever's there. I think there is a small crowd. Are they doing a crowd at this fight? No.
Yeah, it's. I think it's like 2,000 people actually, because it's at like their brand new like Etihad arena.
I know,
it's
but
crazy.
Is it? Are they doing it for every fight?
Oh wait, good point. Maybe not.
I think it's just for the McGregor fight.
That's a good point. You're right.
I think it's just for the McGregor fight, but
No, you're
he'll
right.
be playing up. He'll be still playing up. He'll be going at his
More
he'll be
than
going at,
more than Vegas. I think there'll probably be some
yeah.
people.
Yeah, but as far as this bout goes, heavyweight bout, we've seen the last fight we kind of saw Tafa in. Was unfortunately, I believe, his last fight was his loss. See, this is where both of these guys get interesting, and kind of like what I was talking about yesterday on the breakdown. This fight's kind of interesting because of the fact that both these guys have similar opponents, so you can kind of make you can kind of do some MMA math off of that kind of situation.
MMA math a little bit.
If you really, a little, if
Which
you
is
want
also
it.
doesn't really super work 100%, but
Doesn't really work. But you can kind of look at it and say that like both guys, like, okay, so no, Tafa, Felipe, Felipe's coming off a UD win over Jorgen De Castro. Tafa's coming off the TK win over Juan Adams.
But before that, he lost.
Yeah, his prior fight to that, he lost to Jorgen De Castro. He got knocked out by Jorgen De Castro. He ran right into him. As far as, I think I have it right here too. I'll even pull the fight up right here. If you guys want to look at that, but yeah, he as far as that, he lost that fight by basically running into his opponent's punch. He kind of tried to get really aggressive and kind of do this step in, switch stances, and then throw a right hand. He does have some good hands, and does throw actually probably, like, they both throw wild, but I would say that Tafa throws a little bit more like more crisp shots than less wild shots like Felipe does. Felipe,
yeah, at the same time, it was kind of like, so in that loss, it was kind of because it was like, it was his first UFC bout, right? We kind of just saw him just wanting to go in there and just knock everybody out, knock the guy standing across from him out, and that was obviously one of the main reasons he lost. But go on.
Yeah. No. And then we've also seen Felipe lose to Spivak, you know what I mean? So, and that kind of was a fight where Spivak was like a little bit longer, able to use his distance, his range, able to throw kicks, kind of a different body type, you know what I mean? But this style in this fight is going to be electric just because both guys are basically the same exact attributes, both 6 foot, both around the 74-inch and 74-inch reach for Tafa, 75-inch reach for Felipe. This is going to be an absolute slugfest. I think both guys are probably going to really want to throw down, both being 1-1 in the UFC. Yeah, I don't see this fight going for too long, depending on the attitude both these guys have, which I think will be to probably get in there and probably get in there and fight. You know what I mean? I think both these guys are going to get in there and fight. I would say that earlier in the breakdown, and yesterday in the breakdown, sorry, should I say, I gave the fight to Carlos Felipe, and I gave it to him via finish. So that's pretty much my pick. I think that Tafa's chin's already been tested. We've seen it get tested. Felipe is yet to get his knockout win here in the UFC. So I think that he's going to be looking to do that. You know what I mean? He's looking to... he's really going to look to finish someone here. And some people might say he doesn't have the power. I want to look at the odds for... let me bring these up.
While you do that, I'll just say that, well, yeah, because he doesn't... Well, because kind of like Felipe, like you said, he likes to get in a scrap. And, like, he's not necessarily throwing as big of a shots early on in the fight that, like, Tafa will be. He'll be more so probably trying to make it more of a scrap. And obviously against De Castro, that was a bit of a bigger guy. Against him, he wasn't trying to engage in the clinch as much, but a guy that's like the same size to him, I think he's going to just try to make it a scrap, use some dirty boxing, probably try and weather through the first round. But I definitely think his accumulation of punches and just him just not going away, just staying right in Tafa's face might drain him. He might get a later finish.
Yeah, I would probably agree. I think that...
If not decision, later finish or decision, but yeah,
I think
it won't be early. I don't think.
Yeah, I think it's that or decision. I think Nan's probably right. So Carlos Felipe, you can see to win via decision is three times your money, 3.0 to 1. And then you can see that Carlos Felipe to win by knockouts about 2.75. So you can play that as you want to. I will probably be playing. I said I was going to play Felipe. Sorry. You say something? I think I'm gonna play probably going to end up playing. See, this is one of those ones I might.
It's pretty much a toss-up, eh? Because
Yeah,
it's
it's a
like pretty much a
toss-up.
straight up. You go Felipe, like if you're not, it's not really worth it to bet too much straight up at 1.5. Actually, that's not bad. If we're pretty confident in him betting, if him winning the fight, and it's that much of a toss-up, if he can either finish him late, or it's gonna be go to the cards, and you never know what's gonna go on the cards. Maybe it's just we throw him in as like a parlay pick.
Yeah, probably a parlay. What, Felipe? You think Felipe straight up parlay pick?
Well, kind of. So currently, what I have, I've kind of just been piecing something together so far. I currently have the Austin Lingo stoppage.
Okay.
At 2.4 with Ramazan Ameev at 1.9 to 1, with Carlos Felipe straight up, and that's a 3-to-1 parlay that's at 7-to-1 odds.
Okay.
It's a nice little undercard parlay to get you started if you're interested in that.
It's here. Why don't you I was gonna
put it in the chat?
Probably, yeah, you should. Because this is what Sherm. This is what like people should be doing. People make some parlays, come throw them.
Yeah,
by
sure.
us, you know
Yeah,
what I mean?
sure. Throw some ideas in the chat.
This is where it gets. This is where it gets good. You know what I mean? This is where we kind of all start throwing around parlays. Sherm's already been saying Holloway decision max units, so obviously he's.
Yeah, sometimes, but like so, like obviously, like yeah, you could always throw Holloway onto a bet like this. You could definitely do that. But what I'm also kind of thinking is, and kind of what I tend to do, is maybe if you're gonna just do a little, just an undercard bet, try and win that, and then then roll with that, the winnings from that in the main card. Obviously, yeah, hopefully you hit it. Maybe you won't, but like sometimes it just sucks, and there's nothing like a worse feeling when you have like a parlay with a bunch of undercard guys like this, and then you have the main event, and then you lose it, and you're like, man, what the hell was it I thinking? But obviously, to each his own. But like I think something like this, and probably for a card like this, which is stacked full of good fights to bet on, I think that a nice little undercard parlay is a good idea. And I may add a little bit more to it, but as of right now, I think it's already a very nice little parlay. We do only have the 2 more cards left, but they're both also very right to bet on, but both very close lines. You want to lead us into the next one, Pat, or we got anything more to say about this?
I'm thinking we're probably good on that. What are you typing into the chat? Your parlay?
Oh yeah.
Or no?
Oh yes. Sorry about that. Yes. Yeah.
Do that, because I think that's what I want to pull up on screen in the bottom of the screen right now, even just so I can see it and remember it. As far as the next fight we're gonna look at here. This is a fight that you can or cannot bet on if you don't want to. As far as
I'll post it. Sorry,
properly.
I'll just say I'll post it if it's finalized. So I'll post it later on. You know what I mean?
What do you mean?
Like the parlay, like it's not necessarily done yet. If we have anything else to add to it, if we want to make it the under.
Post it right now. Just post it right now. That's the whole thing. We're on the topic of posting it right now. Post it right now. Takes 2 seconds to type out.
It's actually long.
As far as this next fight goes, we got Wu Yanan taking on Josie Edwards. Josie Edwards coming in on short notice, on like a 7 or 8 day short notice. I'm not sure how many days exactly it is, but it is short notice. She's coming in for Sijara Eubanks. I believe she had to have some sort of a surgery or something like that. Something was going on. Hopefully she gets better and she's able to come back in a full form. As far as this fight with Josie Edwards and Wu Yanan, we got Wu Yanan 5'8", 66-inch reach. Josie Edwards 5'6", 68-inch reach. Wu Yanan 1-2 in the UFC with 11-3 record. Josie 0-0 in the UFC with a 9-2 record. Wu Yanan 7 knockouts, 2 submissions. Josie 5 knockouts, 3 submissions. She loves to stand and trade. Josie does. She can wrestle. She's got a boxing background. She's got a purple belt in BJJ. She's honestly fought UFC caliber opponents, even though not being in the UFC so far here. She's had a fight already against Sarah Alpar, in which she lost via split decision, and that was a very close fight. Like I kind of watched that fight and kind of scored it in my head. I honestly thought it was kind of a controversial decision in which like she could have won that fight, and Sarah Alpar is UFC caliber. She's in the UFC, I believe, at this moment. As far as or was in the UFC, could have been axed. As far as Wu Yanan, 1-2 in the UFC with an 11-3 record, 7 knockouts, 2 submissions. She's returning to. Sorry, that's incorrect. They're fighting this fight still at flyweight. As she was Chinese kickboxing, she was once ranked in China in Chinese kickboxing. She was like one of the top Chinese kickboxers. She started very early, at like 17 years of age. She started MMA. She's got 6 first-round finishes, but it's been 504 days since she last fought. And like I said, she's 1-2 in the UFC. She's coming off a split decision loss to Mizuki Inoue. That fight was in China. She ended up missing weight by 3 pounds in that fight as well. As far as Lauren, she also fought Lauren Mueller, sorry, and she got a submission win over her. And then she also took on Gina Mazzani, and she lost a unanimous decision. But that was her UFC debut, and that was in like 2016 or 2017 when she had that fight. She was only 21 years of age when she took on Gina Mazzani, so that was like a pretty tough fight for her to step in on. I, honestly, in my opinion, I'm probably going with. I would say like if I look at it this way, if the odds, like if you see the odds right now, if those odds for someone that were coming in on a 9-day, 10-day notice, you know what I mean? She has fought this year though, so she does have like. But the fight that she had this year was under 30 seconds. It was a 28-second knockout, Josie Edwards. She fought Pamela Gonzalez, and I believe, I don't even know what fight league, but I believe that was for some sort of a belt in that league. She knocked her out, and then she's getting this call on short notice. So, I mean, honestly, the odds should be saying short notice, but obviously the odds makers see something that, you know, they see that she's not this. Like I said, she's fought UFC caliber level opponents.
Well, I think they were. Sorry, I was just gonna say. I think they were set way farther apart originally, but they've come a lot closer. Like, there's been some. Edwards has been taking some money.
You think so? Yeah.
Yeah, they were set. I think around she was around maybe 2.2 or 2.3. Yesterday they were at like 2.1 or 2 or just 2.0, and then look at now it's just a straight toss up. So yeah, obviously we're seeing some movement here. And originally I was kind of thinking betting Yanan straight up and making sure I did get on it early. And I did put her in a parlay, but I think maybe laying off on it if Edwards is the way it's leaning. You know what I mean?
Why? Just because you're seeing?
We'll see. I'm gonna wait. I'll wait and see how they look on the scales before betting the money line on this one, just because that we have seen so much movement. Because like we could see Yanan go up to like a 2-1. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
By tomorrow or Saturday.
It's very close. It's very close. Yeah, you're right. Yep, I don't mind that. I don't mind that at all.
So I'll leave it out of the parlay for now.
Yeah, we'll just leave it out.
It's also women's
like,
MMA.
I'm not gonna touch it. Like I'm just, even though I say I bet on a little women's MMA,
somebody's debut.
I might bet on it. I might bet on it, but it's someone's debut. I'd have to look at her first, and the line's got to dictate me wanting to bet on her. Like obviously, if she's taken this much money already, these need to be for everyone that's watching. We're gonna start doing these at one point. When we kind of get out of this fucking scrummage of fucking UFC three cards in a row congestion, that's when I will do. Okay, there we go, Shermanator. That's when I will do these bet breakdown videos earlier in the week and like get everything out.
Oh my god! Oh no! Oh, don't kill me! Don't.
Sorry, his mic just got muted. I don't know what happened. As far as, Shermanator, Moraes decision, Felipe to win. You were just unmuting it, thinking that you could unmute it. I can control your mic, son.
Is that, well, why'd you mute me?
Moraes decision, Felipe to win. Censorship. I'm kidding. Felipe to win. Holloway decision. Wu to win. 12.85 odds. Look at Shermanator cooking in the den. Cooking in the den, Shermanator.
Oh, I didn't even see Wu in there.
Shermanator with the double women. Hey, look at the shit.
That's why that was my reaction. Because I saw Moraes and I was like, okay, fair enough, Canadian. I can maybe see the justification. And then I saw Wu at the end. It was just, oh my god.
Shermanator's cooking.
That was like
Cooking
That was
crack.
like the straight right after the jab
Cooking
hit me.
crack
That was
parlays.
hilarious. I like
Oh
it. It's not.
man,
It could.
I love it. I'm all into it, Sherm.
But and he literally did.
I'll probably tail the fuck out of that, Shermanator.
He,
That's what this whole thing is for.
my favorite thing is, and I can guarantee he's laughing right now. He's doing the exact same thing I said. I think I'm gonna not do in this card, which is just throwing in just the main card fight to say, okay, why not? I think it's gonna go this way, right? But it's not the worst because Holloway's the odds. I think those are gonna move in Holloway's favor by Saturday. So I think it's getting on that early. I think a parlay or something's not the worst.
I also think Shermanator's a psycho too.
Yeah, he's probably got 10 cents on it.
He's probably cooking up a dollar parlay. That's 100% what that is. That's
No,
a dollar parlay.
If he hopes if he can get that on one of the free spins.
Oh my god. Yeah, he's waiting for a free spin in between the next couple of days. I forgot about that. As far as looking at some other
or a dead mouse
like
spin,
you could get crazy and go Josie by what's Josie by finish? Well, that's method of victory right there. Is it in this
6.
one? Yeah, right here.
4.3
win by finish. If you
it's not terrible, but like I don't even know
I
at
don't think
this
that's
point.
bad. I think her by knockout's better, but she can submit you too. So honestly, and I think like
You never know. There's way too many variables. And you said there was a bit of a
chin though.
You said she had a layoff, right?
Shots.
A little bit of a layoff for Yunan or something.
504 days for Wu Yanan.
Yeah, so like I don't know, too many variables. It's probably a good idea to clear this fight at least until we see how these. I want to see how this Edwards girls actually looks on the scale.
This is what I always like to say. I like to see the athletes before I bet on them. This is my problem though. These
no, but
lines shift like
sometimes you need
crazy
to.
and we end up-
Sometimes you need to. Sometimes it's close enough, especially at a fight where it's at a pick'em right now. You kind of just gotta hold off.
100%, 100%. Yeah, we're holding off till we get to see these people. As far as I already kind of told you what I told you in my prediction.
Who knows if this fight even makes it to the scales, but
Stop saying shit like that. Stop saying shit like that. That's just bad. Oh, look at this. Look at that. Look at that right there.
Yeah, it's probably like 6-fold or something. It was a dagger to the heart.
It was a dagger.
But I can guarantee the one game was probably one of those when you do the combos. It was probably like Pelicans the cover and the over. And
we're gonna have Sherm on. We're gonna
Yeah.
have Sherm on one day, and we're gonna call him the scent better or something like that.
Sherm can join right now if he wants.
Shermanator, you want to talk? You want to talk some MMA? You know any bets?
Give us your parlays. Maybe when we get to Holloway, once we get to Holloway, then he can hop in. He's probably watching some ball right now. But let's keep going. Let's move through the card here.
Yeah, let's keep going here. Next fight. This is to end the. Is this the end? No, it's not. Yeah, it is. This is to end the undercards.
Yeah. Move that pitiful comment. I'm just kidding. No disrespect. No disrespect.
So yeah, like as far as this fight, this is the Phil Hawes and Nasruddin Imavov fight. I always have trouble pronouncing that name. As far as for who I have in that fight, let's look at both guys first real quick. 6 foot for Phil Hawes, 77.5-inch reach. Imavov 6'3", 75.5-inch reach. Hawes 1-0 in the UFC with a 9-2 record. Imavov 1-0 in the UFC with a 9-2 record as well. Hawes 7 knockouts, 2 subs. Imavov 3 knockouts, 4 subs. Phil Hawes coming off of a 2 knockout wins. Two knockout wins. Sorry, I'm just drinking some water, man. I'm
No, that's
so
right. I'm not laughing at you. I'm just laughing.
Jacob.
I don't know why don't you comment that? It's just funny, sure. Just commented on. He's just commented on some fantasy player he had. You know, he bet on him. Sorry, go ahead.
So he's coming off of a win to Jacob Malkoun, a knockout win to Jacob Malkoun, who's only had 4 wins in the UFC. It was like 18 seconds. Kadis Bastiev, he caught him as well. The other guy he fought in 2017 wasn't his last fight, but it was his last fight that was kind of UFC level caliber, was against Julian Marquez, and he got knocked out by Julian Marquez, but that was 5 fights ago already now. And that was in, like I said, 2017. He had a bunch of fights. Like I said, he had the 2 recent knockouts, and he had a couple more knockouts in between there, too. Those guys were lower level. As far as Imavov, 1-0 in the UFC, like I said, 9-2 record, 3 knockouts, 4 subs. He's coming off a UD, went into Jordan Williams, in which Jordan Williams, he didn't look very good in the fight. He's not he's not that great of an MMA specialist, but at the same time, he did show very good heart, and he had a lot of chin in that fight. He walked through a lot of shots, a lot of hard shots from Imavov. Honestly, I was very impressed. As far as the fight before that, for Imavov, it was against Jonathan Manure. Was pretty fast pace. He ended up knocking him out. In my opinion on this fight, I think a lot of people are saying like the odds would obviously dictate Phil Haas being the favorite. I actually like Imavov in this fight. I think if he comes in the right shape, like it's a very very hard fight. I really think that Haas didn't get the test he needed as far as level of caliber of guys, but I don't know. He does have that power to just really turn your lights out at any second. So as far as betting in this fight, in my opinion, I'm going to go with Imavov. He's the underdog. I'm probably going to take him on a parlay or something like that. As far as how he wins the fight, I would probably say it's going to be on. I would probably say it's going to be on points.
Yeah.
I would probably say that wrestling from. I would probably say the wrestling from Imavov's going to come in, like he's going to have to be able to get takedowns, and he's going to have to be able to stay on top of Haas. Haas obviously has a wrestling background himself, but he does tend to tire out once he throws punches. I think that when he hits Imavov, I don't think he's going to be able to knock him out. I don't think he's going to be able to. Hey man, like I could be wrong, like you know what I mean? Like he could land that shot and take him out. Like of course he could. And that's what a lot of people think, and that's why the line's dictating that.
Right. But, so I was just gonna say Imavov's 2 losses. One was his first career pro fight. He lost via guillotine choke, which it looks like in 11 seconds. So he just pretty much got instantly guillotined in his first fight. So that kind of happens sometimes. Guy doesn't even have jiu-jitsu, any grappling experience. Somebody knows that, took him out of there. But and then his only other fight that he lost was via decision. So I think I'm definitely on board with that. Or I'm like in that over 2.5 rounds even, like, or maybe even when we see the fight to go the distance, those could both be good.
Yep, absolutely.
Because I don't know, Phil Haas, I think he's just gonna be able to survive Phil Haas' initial barrage, and he's gonna be at least a scrap. So even if nobody wants to really even pick a fight, because it's kind of even a pretty close line. So the fight go the distance, yes, 2.75. Yeah, no, I like that. I think that's good. And if you are on Imavov, I think Imavov decisions also.
Imavov by decision, everyone sees right there, 4.5. Obviously, Haas could actually get the fit. Like Haas could definitely touch his chin, even 2.2 if you're looking in Haas' favor. Like I'm not telling you who to bet on. I'm just showing you the odds and we're talking through them. You know what I mean? That's the whole point of this shit. Yeah. As far as we'll move through that now because I think we're done with that. I don't think there's anything really more to even say. Now we're starting main card and we're going to start with Punahele Soriano. And honestly, I think I expressed this yesterday in the live stream and in the video on YouTube. If anyone's watching this on playback, this as far as this fight goes, you may see me honestly just picking Soriano just because I do like him more. But I do think it's a very even fight. It's a very close fight. Like I said, I like Punahele Soriano. I like him a lot more than I do Dusko, even though Dusko does have, like I said, both guys pretty similar. Punahele Soriano, 5'11", 72.5-inch reach. Dusko Todorovic, 6'1", 74-inch reach. 2-0 in the UFC for Punahele with a 7-0 record. Dusko, 2-0 in the UFC with a 10-0 record. Punahele, 4 knockouts, 2 submissions. Dusko, 6 knockouts, 3 submissions. Punahele's used to be an All-American college wrestler. Dusko used to be, I believe, like it's from Serbia, so I don't really know what they call it around there. What it's all called with the fight style they call it around there. But he's a very skilled MMA fighter as well himself. I don't remember his background right off the top of my head. As far as Punahele coming off a knockout win and then a UD win. The knockout win was over Oscar Pijota, and then the UD win was over Jamie Pickett. He wasn't able to kind of get Pickett out of there, even though it was a very good fight, and almost got him out of there, even with a different referee that you might have seen the fight get stopped. He's fought to Jonathan Petit, in which he got a submission win over him too as well. And Jonathan Petit, he's not that bad either. He's also a UFC guy as well, so it's worth mentioning. As far as Todorovic, he's fought a little bit higher level caliber of opponent is what I would say. He definitely got the skill. Daequan Townstead, he's coming off a knockout win over him. He was kind of able to, walk him down, land big shots.
Because he's a meat sack.
Yeah. As far as Teddy Ash goes, Teddy Ash, that fight was actually pretty tough, but Todorovic was also kind of able to kind of hold him up against the fence, which was kind of disappointing. But Teddy Ash did put on some good brawls and let us see Todorovic's chin a little bit. Todorovic has a tendency to literally walk backwards with his head in the air. Like he likes to really kind of drop his hands, and kind of like leave his chin in the air and kind of do that Matrix style shit. And like against a guy like Punahele, like you can really get clipped like that. So you better watch out. We could see some sort of knockout. I gotta get some water after this. I gotta refill my water bottle. I've only got just a small drop left. He also fought Michel Pereira, which is actually a good thing to mention in the fight that I watched, and that was in the Serbian Fighting Championship. We all know Michel Pereira, the flip meister, flipping around. We all know him. He'll run off the cage more than anyone in a fight. As far as in that fight, he was able to knock him out in the first round at the end of the fight. At the end of the first round with like 30 seconds left, and the ref had no choice but to stop it. As far as this fight goes, I'm picking Punahele. I think that he's got a lot more tools in this. Not a lot more. He's got the tools that he hasn't shown to people yet. Like we've seen some wrestling from him in certain fights, like the Pickett fight a little bit and stuff like that, and in the Petit fight. But as far as like if he's able to tone down the punch style and maybe have a little bit more punch selection, like he's really going to be a threat. And he just keeps working and stuff like that and gets in his good camp and all that kind of good stuff. He's going to be a definite threat. I'm picking him to win over Todorovic. And you can see the Punahele Soriano is and actually another underdog. So that's my second underdog pick of the night, I believe, right, Dan?
Yeah. Second in a row, I guess, right?
Second in a row? Holy fuck.
Getting a bit wild here on the tail end. Over at the turn, the last card. But no, but like I think at the end, I think we were saying a bit yesterday too. The fight is a lot closer skill wise than this fight reflects. While you can definitely
reflects, yeah.
What did I say? Whatever. Sorry.
You said the fight reflects.
Yeah, sorry. My apologies. Yeah, the line reflects because
yeah,
they both had one fight in the UFC. Obviously, Todorovic has had better amateur experience and obviously a win against somebody.
Two fights in the UFC. They've each had 2 fights in the UFC.
Oh, sorry, Right, my bad. That's right. What was?
Punahele fought Petit in a different circuit.
He fought Pickett, and then Todorovic had Townsend, and who else?
What are you talking about?
Oh, Teddy Ash in Contender Series. So no, okay, but it's not but one Contender Series fight, and then UFC fight.
I know, but that's the whole problem. Some of these sites count the Contender.
I know,
Series
but I'm
as a
saying
win.
so.
I was gonna say sorry, not counting it as a win.
Yeah, let's just say for argument's sake, let's just say one actual UFC. They were in the UFC card. And they were in there. They both won their fights.
Mm-hmm.
And so I just think, Punahele, while he looks like just like a big guy, looks like he's probably going to go in there and try and knock him out. Like he's got some wrestling experience, and I don't know. Yeah, but I'm in the same boat. I'm a fan. I'll probably be betting on Soriano, but it might just be I don't want to maybe tie too much into it. Maybe just do a straight up bet on Soriano as a fan.
You're definitely right. You're definitely right.
Because it's such a close fight.
It is such
but
a
just
close
for
fight.
the fact that that's close, probably put like around a couple units on that, 1 or 2 units on Soriano, just as like a straight up bet is what I'm kind of thinking. What's the fight to go the distance? 2.5. No, I don't think I'd touch that. I think other than just watching this fight and enjoying it, I think I'll just bet on Punahele straight up.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna go Punahele straight up. I think.
Don't hang your hat on it though. Like
on Punahele, no, don't do it.
Yeah.
No, absolutely not. Yeah, this fight you could absolutely see Todorovic come out and show levels on Punahele, and that could be a problem. You know what I mean? But I think that I think it's gonna be a good fight. I really do. I think it's gonna be a good fight. I want to see what kind of game plan both guys employ, and I'm excited.
Great way to start off the main card.
Yeah, great way to start off the main card. As far as our next fight, we got Joaquin Buckley and Alessia Chiricho. As far as that fight goes, we're seeing those odds at Chiricho being the heavy underdog. As far as the way that I've kind of been seeing that fight, Dan, do you want to go over the start of that fight real quick? Like
Yeah,
those guys real quick?
yeah, go ahead. Go fill up your water. I'll just I don't know. Obviously, everybody knows Joaquin Buckley off of that spinning heel kick against Impa Kasanganay, and that's obviously put his name on the map. And then he had the follow up win that he proved that he's actually a legit contender, and kind of eliminated some of the questions that still lingered from that loss against Kevin Holland, where on Kevin Holland's tear in 2020, he was one of the early victims. So yeah, no, I think Joaquin Buckley proved that he's very legitimate. At the same time, Alessia Chiricho, I think it's closer than this line reflects, kind of a bit like the other one. I'm not necessarily going to go out and bet at Chiricho at this point. Even at 3-1, like maybe if it gets even more ridiculous once people start putting together who Buckley is on Saturday and he gets to like a 1.25 or again anything under 1.3, and I might consider it, but no, I think I'll just probably sit back and watch this one and stay away from betting it. But other than that, I can try and throw it over to some physicals, but Pat's coming back right now, so I'll let him take over.
What's going on, people?
How's it going, Pat? I just finished wrapping up, and pretty much I went through my pick. I didn't really go through too much of the physicals because I kind of pretty much covered who Buckley is, why we knew him, what we know about him. Oh,
yeah,
of course,
Buckley's
Mitchell.
still overrated in my opinion. Yeah, you went over kind of the other fights too that we know that we fought Kevin Holland.
Yeah, I didn't go over Chiricho against Kevin Holland yet, and I didn't go over any of his fights. I went over Buckley's, pretty much his three fights.
Perfect.
So you can go over Chiricho, but I pretty much said at this point, even at 3-1, I really think it's worth it for Chiricho. But if it moves, maybe even stronger towards Buckley, I might consider it. But go ahead.
Yeah, I'd probably have to agree with you on that. As far as those kinds of odds, but like
Sherman calling him out. I love it.
If we look at some other stuff in this fight, we can kind of see some better things. Like as far as, would you ever take Buckley by knockout? Would you do that?
Buckley by knockout? Sorry, what are the odds on that? 2.1?
2.1.
No, I don't know. Maybe as a parlay. Maybe as a parlay piece. I'm not gonna be like, oh, he's guaranteed to go knock this guy out. No, I don't think so. Let's put. How many times has how many times has his opponent been finished? Chiricho been finished in his career?
He's 3-5 in the UFC with a 12-5 record. I don't know if he's actually been knocked out.
Let me
I think
pull
he's
it up.
been knocked out maybe once.
Let me pull up Topology. He's lost.
Right,
Decision. He lost it, but via triangle choke once.
Yeah, I don't think he's lost, but he's
That's
been
it,
knocked
yeah.
out though.
Yeah, so that's why I'm saying like I don't think that's really worth it at 2.1. Like I'm not gonna say it's necessarily just gonna happen. I don't know. Maybe just okay, but I think actually throw up the original couple parlay picks just to run back through them, because I think that's pretty finalized. I'm gonna put either 1 or 2 units on that parlay.
Okay. Yeah, I will probably join you in doing so.
Yeah, I just put 1 unit to return around 6 units. Oh, sorry, 7 units. My apologies, 7 units.
Yeah. As far as that fight, the Joaquin Buckley, like you said, the odds probably pretty much aren't there. Like I said, though, this fight to go the distance, 2.3. Like, is he going to be able to make it? Is Chiricho going to be able to make it? Can he maybe stop the hype train a little bit? I don't know. Like, are you willing to kind of buy into that a little bit? Honestly, when I was writing the notes and stuff for it, I was buying into it a little bit.
I think like it's at 3-1. Like you got to consider it when you're getting a guy at 3-1. Like to consider betting on him, and obviously it's getting attractive. But like, I don't want to just be betting on him and then just be pissed at myself when we see him just flatlined at some point in the fight. Because like obviously, not only does he have the power, but now he's got the confidence too to back it up. Buckley after like I said, eliminating some of those question marks with that last win against an undefeated opponent.
Oh, come on. That answered questions for you? That fight answered questions for you against Jordan Wright?
Well, bro, like his first fight was against Kevin Holland, and that was obviously a super tough fight. And I said he was one of the victims.
It was short notice.
Exactly, and
he fought a fight 8 days before that.
And he was one of the victims of Kevin Holland's amazing 2020 run, right?
Well, it's like saying, it's the golden goose ticket, man. You're gonna take the shot and the opportunity to come into the UFC, regardless if you just fought 8 days ago. You know what I mean? I think that's the reality of it.
I thought he looked good in that fight. I thought he looked good in that fight.
I thought he looked good at times. I thought he looked good.
The guy was obviously he was pretty green. He was pretty green, and he looked like he pretty much was like a specialist. And he had a little bit of grappling experience. He was a specialist in, I don't know, some sort of, might have been Muay Thai. I can't really remember, but he wasn't like he was a taller opponent. Like he's not going to get immediately thrown into the ranked opponents. Like I think for what it was, it proved that it wasn't a fluke.
Buckley's the guy coming off that absolute. You proved what? The knockouts weren't flukes?
Well, I just think, the knockout.
I don't know. I think Jordan Wright was a guy that was put in there to build Buckley against.
But he's undefeated. He's undefeated. There's bigger scrubs that you could have thrown out. You gotta agree with that. You gotta agree with that. Like that wasn't a gimme. I don't think that was a gimme.
It wasn't a gimme, but it was very close.
Maybe they're trying to give him a taller opponent like Buckley, or sorry, like Kevin Holland was against him. But I don't know. Let's move on. I think that we've covered this fight enough.
Yeah, agreed. As far as some other odds here, we can look at them real quick. Buckley by decision, Chiricho by decision, 5.0. Here, let me move this comment real quick.
Yeah, maybe if we're going the theory that we don't think Chiricho is going to get finished, Buckley by decision is not bad at 3.4. That's a pretty decent amount of value there.
Or what if good old Chiricho comes in there and hops him out?
But I even think in comparison, when you're getting a guy that's that big of a favorite, so they're pretty much saying, oh well, if it's going more towards the distance, it's more so a toss up than if you're betting on it straight up.
Yeah,
they're saying they think, but I think Buckley was able to showed he had pretty decent cardio for 15 minutes in his last bout. Like Jordan Wright, while he was getting hit a lot, he didn't just go away.
What?
Wait, when did he knock him out?
Dan, he fucking flat. He was.
Oh yeah, in
every
the second
shot
round.
he
It was
hit
in
him
the
with-
second round. It was in the second round.
10 seconds into the second
Nah,
round
yeah,
after him knocking him down in the first round, after he hit him with one clean shot, the kid was already so scared before. Wait, let me turn this fucking camera on so I can. The kid was so fucking scared when he went in there that he was going in there against this hype
No.
train that just fucking spin kicks
No,
someone into a
no,
new
no,
dimension.
no,
That
no.
basically he was so fucking scared when he was fighting that fight, and there was a lot of pressure on him. I thought that fight was short notice. The Jordan Wright fight, I swear it was short notice. That Jordan Wright took that on short notice. Like I said,
No,
you take those.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
Wasn't
I don't think
okay. Okay, well, what was he coming off of, a Contender Series win?
so. No, he
Because we watched the Contender. No.
a round one stoppage win against Ike Villanueva, UFC Fight Night. I'm not sure which one. Oh, in August.
I remember it. He landed
In
he
August,
landed a good punch on him.
Yeah, he
But
cut him. It was a
Ike-
doctor stoppage. But he had before that
Ike
LFA
res-
Contender Series. But yeah, I don't know.
Those guys
he was
respected
undefeated.
him more.
He wasn't a gimme. That's all I was trying to say. I wasn't right about
agree,
how far
I
it went,
agree.
but
I know, because I was gonna say he got pretty much crowded and fucked up, right?
Yeah,
Dropped
because-
at the end of the first, made it, survived right as the buzzer went. He was wobbly to get up, and then they were like, oh, I don't know if he's gonna make it. They're like, Jordan.
I'm just saying that you can't
Some
take that
water on
away from Buckley. You can't take that one away from Buckley saying it's a scrub opponent and he was supposed to win that fight that way. It was saying,
Absolutely right.
can he do that against somebody that maybe that's a bit better than Casagni? But Casagni was a good guy to win that too. Like, he wasn't supposed to win that Casagni fight either, I don't think.
Who, Buckley?
Yeah.
You're kind of right and you're not right. I think that was kind of a toss up going into it. Like,
He was the
Kasanga has-
underdog. He was the underdog. I can guarantee that.
Yeah, maybe the betting lines dictated that, but like Kinsong and I had already been knocked out.
That's what I mean. That's
Before
obvious.
that
That's
fight.
probably why. Yeah.
So
Probably why
it was like people. I don't know why people were tuning into him. I don't think I did.
Into what?
I don't think I bet the Kinsong and I or Buckley fight. I don't think I did before. I think if
I don't know.
if I did. I bet
can't-
almost everything though, people.
Yeah, I probably did. I probably lost money on it.
Next fight we're going into here. We're just gonna take the Betway order.
Where do you?
That's the one thing I didn't clip. You're gonna be pissed at me.
Which one?
End of the years.
That's fine.
Yeah, whatever. We might have to just read them out. We're going to talk about end of the year champion bets because those are out on Betway currently, or any other betting site. I bet you they're out, and
It's
you
more
probably have to
bowls,
make
yeah.
that. You probably have to make that bet at a certain point.
Well, because there's no bets, there's no titles on the line, even in this pay per view. So like, I don't think they're gonna take them away
Let me play these comments in order.
for a while though. Yeah, we got
Mitchell corrects himself with the. I'll play it again for everybody. There it is.
hammer down. I could eat Holloway. Too soft. What?
You not seeing this? He goes, too soft. He goes, I could eat Holloway. Too soft. Not as soft as Dab.
Oh, so
not
this
as
is
soft as Dan though.
like, obviously. Like, so I'm softer than Max Holloway. Yeah, sure. Burned.
Fired him.
Got
as
me.
far as the next fight, let's get
That's
into
some.
that.
That's
We're
some
not-
hate. That's some disrespect from Mitchell there.
The next fight on Betway is the Brown.
Everybody
fight.
make sure you
So
hit
we're
the
gonna-
like
we're
button,
gonna
by the
pull-
way.
Yeah, absolutely. Everyone hit the like button. I appreciate it, Dan. For telling me-
Subscribe
telling-
to Bet Surgeon. Throw up a tab on Twitch too if you want to.
Yeah, come
Fuck
support us
it.
on Twitch at the same time as well. Get the double support going. We're going
This
on,
lazy-
we're rolling on Twitch always at the same time. MMA Bet Surgeon as well.
Once Pat can have a computer that's not going to die, he's going to go on Facebook too. Open a tab
this
on
computer
Facebook.
wouldn't
and
be able. This computer definitely wouldn't be able to handle.
get the trifecta
streaming
going.
it for you. It can barely handle streaming it too. So, but it's the old MacBook. She's still working. She's still flying. As far as the next fight on Betway, we're gonna go into it right now. It's Matt Brown and Carlos Condit.
No.
That's
wrong
what's
order.
on Betway lined up.
Yeah, it's wrong. That's the
Okay,
co-main.
well-
That's the co-main. We got the
Okay, well-
Argentinian dagger.
Here, right here, Santiago Ponzinibrio taking on Jinglang. Honestly, in this fight, like the odds are fucking nuts at this point. Like, you know what I mean? Like, obviously the
Yeah, they're even more in his favor in Ponzinibio's favor than they were yesterday.
Yeah, crazy shit.
Not
Crazy.
by a lot though, just slight. I think Lee was at like 3.1 yesterday.
If anyone doesn't know, Ponzinibio is coming off of his last fight was 791 days ago, people. In 2018, at the end of the year. He's coming off of having a staph infection in his blood. He was then put on improper medication, which resulted in something to do with his blood cells his white blood cells getting destroyed or something like that. He then ended up getting sick, then ended up, during the time when he was having the staph infection in his blood, he spent 7 months on an IV, he said. And then once he had to get his shit repaired from the misgiving on the pills or whatever, the medication, he had to spend another 2 months on IV. But now he's back. He's been training in 2020. He was training in 2020 with ATT. He said he's back to getting into form. He wants to make his run back for the title. Man, he's definitely a hard guy to fight, and he used to be ranked like 9-2 in the UFC, 27-3, coming off a knockout win. Like I said, in 2018.
What was his ranking? Do you know? Before
I don't remember what it was.
Removed? I feel like it was top 10, man.
Yeah, I thought he might have been.
I feel like it was upper top 10. I don't know. He was a contender. He was a rising star in the division for sure. You could definitely say that.
I'm looking at it right now.
You can. How can you find that?
I wish it would show his ranking beside him, but it doesn't.
Well, yeah. Either way, yeah. Like, I don't know. Ponzinibrio. I think he said today in an interview, like, after that layoff, he would have accepted a fight with Francis Ngannou, right? That was obviously a little bit.
I love that
joke, but like
that.
obviously, yeah, he wants to get back in here. Like, the guy's not he's not the youngest chicken, so like, yeah, how old is he? Sorry, at 30, 34. Like, he's a contender, but like at 34, you only got so much gas left in that tank. You can't be having layoffs that are going 2 years. And at this point, obviously, he doesn't want that, and he didn't want to get, like, hopefully, like I said yesterday, he's get the Yoel Romero back because of that bullshit. But no, I think I can't bet against him, no matter how big that line is. I think Lee's gonna come at him, and Ponzinibrio is just gonna absolutely outclass him.
I think so too. I think there's definitely. I will definitely not be betting against him. I'd probably have to agree as far as what we're showing you right now.
You just look at a guy like that who has the ability with the hands and the feet, and also has like got a bunch of cauliflower like that. Like, you don't want to fight like a guy like this. That recently changed his name. I don't know. It was some like Argentinian phrase previously that meant like the good guy or something like that. I can't remember who's saying that. But it's now the Argentinian dagger. Like, this guy's coming in here to make a name for himself and get back on track in this fight. And probably not looking to squeak out a close decision. That's kind of what I'm thinking. But yeah, 2.3, it's not bad. 2.3, it's not bad. Yeah.
KO?
By finish. Just by finish straight up.
Li Jinglang is very, very tough. He's the leech for a reason. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
but he's never fought a guy like Ponzinibrio in his life.
True. This is true. He, just to mention it too, David Zawada, him and David Zawada fought, and he knocked out David Zawada in 2018. Li Jinglang.
David Zawada's that's what he's on prelims for. He's not the fucking.
I know.
He's not a
just
name.
Mentioning it. I know. Just mentioning it for connections here, people.
No,
if you want to do that little bit of that MMA math. But Zawada was able to drop him in that fight as well.
Yeah, because he just comes down. He was
battering Zawada's leg in the fight. He was battering Zawada's leg.
I don't know if he's gonna get into a leg. You know, he definitely won't win a leg kicking battle against Ponzinibrio. I don't think. What's like the reach differential here?
Ponzinibrio 6 foot with a 73-inch reach. Li Jinglang, the leech, 71-inch and 6 foot with a 71.5-inch reach.
So this is this is gonna be such a close fight, like as far as like physicality wise, but like
could be fight of the night,
but not
the night right here.
But not. It will be because Lee's gonna be there for Ponzinibrio to hit. But I think Ponzinibrio may even take this to the ground, even too. If he's gonna have that forward pressure, it's maybe easy to take this guy down if he shoots
with
right.
good enough timing. So
You're right. You want to get on to the next fight? As far as I think we've gone through that. I think we both agree that we're both with Ponzinibrio. My
Ponzinibrio,
picks
100%.
yesterday.
I'm not betting
I
on
was
the
with
leech,
Ponzinibrio.
unfortunately.
I'm not going
I
to
get-
bet on the leech.
Maybe
Unless,
I'll probably do finish too. Maybe do that finish bet. And I think I was also
I do want to
saying
see these guys on the
yesterday
scales, though. I want to see what Ponzinibrio looks like on the scale. I want to see what he fucking feels like after
Yeah,
cutting weight.
I
you
think
know
I
what
can
mean?
guar- I
wanna
can guarantee-
fucking see
I-
that.
No, but I can guarantee he's after this long, he's not going to be fucking around. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, like I said, with ATT now, like, huge.
yeah, he's making the kind of changes that all kind of lead your way to assuming that he's not fucking around. He's trying to put his career on track and not in a slow way. He's trying to get on the fast track to a title shot like he kind of was before he got injured. But
Absolutely.
albeit now,
Absolutely.
sorry, remind me one time. What's the weight? Welterweight. Obviously, it's not the easiest
170.
division to pop up in,
Yeah.
but like if you start getting big finishes, anything can happen.
Mhm.
But I think also, I think yesterday's stream I was saying possibly a later finish as he starts to work down Lee's leg himself, work down the lead leg, or maybe he takes him down, grinds him out that way, and then maybe submits it more.
Absolutely.
Gets a late finish.
Absolutely. I'm gonna move this a little bit closer to me. That could
but let's move
absolutely
on.
happen. Let's move on. Let's get to the co-main event of the evening. Two legends, probably two guys that maybe should be towards maybe the end, but they're both legends nonetheless. Both guys have earned their respect as far as not only mixed martial artists, but as UFC competitors and guys that have, as far as even in the WEC, like as far as a guy like Condit having the belt in the WEC, being a UFC interim title holder, like these are huge things. These guys are definitely legends. Both of them Hall of Fame for sure. I don't think we're questioning that. I think at this point, it's going to be a question of what we see from both guys. We know that Carlos Condit, we've seen him in previous fights, have problems with guys that are able to take him down. Carlos Condit in his last fight got a UD win over Court McGee. Court McGee hasn't been winning fights at all in the UFC either, and he's older. He's a little bit older as well. But before that, he had a 5-fight losing streak to guys like Chiesa, Oliveira, top-level guys, like guys that were definitely a threat to him. As far as looking at the betting line real quick, we can see Matt Brown's the underdog. Carlos Condit is the favorite. Where there's kind of a problem with that, and we were talking about it yesterday, MMA, my boy MMA Genie brought that up to me.
yeah, everybody go subscribe to MMA Genie on,
Absolutely.
on YouTube, up and comer.
He didn't really bring it up. We were talking about it, and I was saying, like, from what I've seen, but he did bring up the odds for it, and the odds for it are very good.
Well, what he was
and
saying
did,
also too, he said he had. I don't want to take away. I wish he was here to tell us himself, but he said his buddy Mark Coleman was telling him that Matt Brown's been working the wrestling a lot in this fight, and he's in good shape. And no, yeah, like you were saying, this fight, that line is kind of ridiculous. Like Carlos Condit shouldn't be that big of a favorite against anybody.
No,
especially
no.
like somebody like Matt Brown, who's still so savvy at 40 years old. Who just
still
turned
has the power.
He just turned 40 like recently too. Like within
Yeah,
the last couple
yeah.
weeks, right?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, on a line that's that off, definitely taking advantage of Matt Brown, and I think the MMA Genie, again, shout out to him. His pick was Matt Brown on points, which I do like.
Yeah,
Because Condit's only. I don't think Condit's ever been knocked out, at least in the UFC, but he's been submitted. I may be wrong.
Yeah,
Let me-
Condit's
let me-
been
let me-
fitted. Condit's very crafty with the submissions, though. Like, I like Condit. I'm a Carlos Condit fan. I always have been.
Oh, so am I.
I'll definitely take the Matt Brown to win on points, and then I'll probably as well, because I did pick yesterday in my video, I did like Carlos Condit. I might take Carlos Condit to win on points. I don't see Carlos Condit getting some type of a win, maybe a cut win, maybe some sort of stoppage that way if that's possible. But it could happen. Carlos Condit to win by KO 3-1. Like, come the fuck on here, people. Matt Brown's 4.5. Like, what the fuck? Are you kidding me? The lines for this fight are crazy. Yeah, Matt Brown straight up is the play for sure. Yeah, we're thinking either Matt Brown straight up or we're gonna do Matt Brown via decision. I think that you can.
No,
really
but yeah,
get
but
some
Matt
value.
Brown. throw some Matt Brown and some like early parlays too, because like I even think that's off. Like I think people know who Matt Brown is. Like I think that's I think that's gonna get some movement. Like I think we'll see that get to more maybe like you never know, but I think it's gonna get closer towards the pick'em. Not obviously fully, but in that direction. And I think throwing that in a parlay right now is pretty good. Getting a 2.4, that's great value. On something that's going to be a very close fight, probably going to go the distance. Two guys putting on a good show like they have their entire careers.
You there, Dan?
Yeah, are you there? Can you hear me?
Sorry about that. Yeah, I just backed out for a second, by the way. I touched my fucking stupid mouse.
No, it's all good. Yeah, that's why it sucks to not have the feedback, because it literally just, I can't even tell if I'm lagging or you are. But yeah, keep going. Or what was the last thing you heard me say?
It wasn't lag. I backed out.
Oh.
Yeah, I did that by accident. I backed out of the stream by accident. Don't worry about it. I was just gonna let you keep talking. Don't worry about it. Just keep going.
Yeah, where was I? I don't know.
I don't know. I was the one that left.
I was just saying that. Oh yeah, sorry. No, I was just saying that's two guys that are going to go on and they're going to put on a show like they have like their entire careers.
Mm-hmm.
Especially they know the circumstances. They're getting a co-main event on it's a fight night, but like it's a substantial fight night.
We're not even calling it a fight night. We're calling
UFC
it
on ABC.
It could be one of the bigger.
It's also the first UFC of 2021. It's a very big card,
right?
and they're the co-main event.
You know what I mean? Like,
they're the co-main event. Like,
yeah.
This is probably going to be the last big fight of both of their careers.
Mm-hmm.
I believe Carlos Condit's a free agent after this fight, so he'll probably be gone from the UFC. Maybe he has some pipe. Like I don't know. No, sorry, I'm not going to be insulted, but I was going to say like kind of some pipe dreams. Maybe going to get like a PFL title or something like that, but like maybe trying to get a Milo. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. Hopefully, he doesn't do anything like bare knuckle. Like you don't want to see a guy like that who's already had such a lot of cage time. Just keep fighting sometimes, but you never know. We'll see.
That's the problem, man. That's the whole problem with fighter pay. That is the whole problem.
Yeah, well, especially with a guy that like fighter pay. Like I understand you're very outspoken on UFC fighter pay. But it has gotten better, albeit it can be a lot better when compared to some bigger sports. But like it has gotten better. But like that's the thing. Like a guy like Carlos Condit, who, while he had his WEC days and he was in some of the UFC days where he could still have his own advertising, he also had a lot of his career and maybe even some of the drier years of his career as far as success-wise, like as far as when he won like a five fight losing streak.
Yeah, top guys though.
But yeah, top guys. But I'm still saying like that's a time when hopefully you're like when you're not getting those fight bonuses that you're getting your sponsorship still. So obviously maybe those are some tough times. But hopefully you never hope for something like that when a guy like Carlos Condit. So, but yeah, I think Matt Brown either straight up or via decision is the way to go, because he could finish him. Of course, he's got those elbows and stuff like that. But it's very, very unlikely against a guy that's gone in there. Like the only time I figured out he has really been, he's been submitted several times, but he's only ever been TKO'd against Tyron Woodley.
Okay.
And it was when he hurt his leg in the second round.
Okay.
So like, yeah, obviously, but it's not like he got knocked out. So like, obviously, an overhand elbow from Matt Brown can knock out anybody's. So
yeah.
But that odds very, very skewed right now. Let's roll with Matt Brown, I think.
Yep, absolutely. We are rolling with Matt Brown. Now let's get into the main event. We got a little.
How many underdogs is that? Sorry, rolling into the main event. So I think that's 2 or 3. I think it's 3.
I think it's 3. I think it's 3 if you say that I'm taking who?
Soriano, Imavov, and Matt Brown.
Oh yeah, I guess. Yeah. Oh, beautiful. Okay, perfect. We got a couple dogs. As far as the main event here, we got Calvin Kattar, Max Holloway. Obviously, this is. I don't even think I need to speak on this one. As far as rounding.
Yeah, go watch our video yesterday. We went over this fight very thoroughly.
Yeah, we talked about all the prior fights. We talked about obviously us thinking that maybe he needed a little bit more respect because we thought he won those. That last fight he fought against Volkanovski. As far as Kattar goes, we kind of know what he brings. He kind of brings more power. He's kind of one of those guys that's got very clean boxing. He's able to kind of kind of stalk you down and land on you. He's very, I find he's very flat-footed, and he likes to throw his shots flat on his feet, but he does throw very crisp shots. He's able to defend takedowns as well. I don't think we're going to see any takedowns in this fight, even though my boy DT through the Boon Man would like to say where we are going to see some takedowns in this fight. As far as Max Holloway goes, we know what he brings. He brings a lot of dynamic movement, a lot of dynamic kicks, punches, all kinds of shots from different angles. As far as in the last Volkanovski rematch, we saw a lot more movement. I think that we need to see that in a fight against Calvin Kattar. We need to see him moving, chopping that lead leg of Calvin Kattar. Both guys have had problems with getting their lead leg chopped to kind of stop their mobility, so they're able to get struck more by their opponents. So it's going to be a good question to see if we're going to see a leg kick battle or not. That's obviously, that could be a shit show. But as far as Max Holloway, if he stays on his feet, stays on his bike, stays circling, stays moving, I'm picking Max Holloway to win this fight. I know that Dan's going with Calvin Kattar, but and I love Calvin Kattar. Even today, just kind of looking through his Instagram, I was saying this to Dan, like, he's just and not to say Max Holloway isn't, but Calvin Cater's just a real guy. You know what I mean? Like, just likes to golf. You know what I mean? Likes to just do normal people shit. You know what I mean? Like,
well, he's also somebody that hasn't been a champion too.
And he hasn't been a champion.
Right?
Of
That's
course,
also
right? Like,
that's part of it too. Like, you gotta love the guy that's up and coming. Like,
yes,
obviously
course.
he's had certain bumps with injuries, and he had a super tough fight against Zabit, where he obviously he's learned a lot since. But like, yeah, it's very hard if you pay attention to Calvin Kattar and you've seen last several of his bouts. Like, it's hard not to like the guy. He's also like the camp, the New England Mafia, like, or is it Mafia? Right? Is that right? Am I get that?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, it's a great team out there, and yeah, I love Max Holloway though. And I was just more so just trying to comment on the leg kicks and saying that both guys, neither of them, obviously they've both had issues and they've lost fights via leg kicks pretty much. If you make the argument with Renato Moicano for Calvin Kattar,
Yep.
and you have the first Volkanovski fight for Holloway. Both times when we've seen them bounce back, their solutions have been not to check them really. I don't know if they've just don't have. Because I know Holloway maybe has been he's pretty much eliminated sparring completely.
Yeah, he did not spar at all for this at all.
Or his last fight, like he just completely just realized he's had so much game time, and honestly, for a guy like that, it's probably a good decision. Like, I don't think like Max Holloway, like, I don't know if he's confident in himself and like that. Like, I think he's good to go as far as all his movement and like and I fully expect to see a fully capable Max Holloway. Like, I'm not betting on Calvin Kattar because I think I'm going to see a diminished Max Holloway. And like, I'm probably going to have to hedge this fight because it's going to be so close. And I may already have a parlay with Max Holloway. I've been back and forth on this fight, as I said yesterday. But I think Calvin Kattar's just going to be able to land the more impactful shots. Like, we may see a Max Holloway try and take it to the ground when he gets hurt. Like you said, it's never his primary motive. He wants to stand in there and bang and put on a show. Like, there's some fights, and this is one of them. Like, we're guaranteed to have an awesome fight.
Yeah, absolutely. This is
going to be the fight of the night. Like, it may not have the award because sometimes they don't like to give it to the main event to give some other guys the bonus. But this is going to be fight of the night. Like, I don't see how it is, and it's going to be awesome.
Yeah, I would probably say that's probably going to be fight of the night. Did I not already say another one that I thought was going to be fight of the night?
Maybe not the Imavov one, but the one after that. Was it the
you can't bet on fight
Soriano?
I think anymore.
Soriano?
It's the Soriano fight, I think.
Or the Buckley Chiricho, that could also be up there. And obviously the map, like this fight, this it's just a stat card. But I think the main event's just gonna cap it off, and it'll be the last one and be like, wow, probably one of the best. It's obviously recency bias is gonna play a major effect because we've been deprived too. But yeah, I don't know even which way to bet it really even fully yet. So let's get into that a little bit. How are we gonna bet it, like as far as props?
I'm looking at it right now and I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking might be a max decision as far as I go. What do you mean props? Like, what props are you talking about?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Decision, decision, KO, TKO, all that. Max decision 2.3. Like obviously, I think that's what the way the odds makers are think it's going to go the distance, and obviously, I think that's very likely.
Wow, look at Max by UD though. Wow, they let us bet the type of decision. I love that.
They usually did let us do that.
Not all the time.
Okay, pull that up. You pull that up.
Do I not have it fully clipped in here? Did it get cut off? Fuck off, man.
I know Kattar was 11-1 split.
Fuck off, bro.
You have it right at the bottom. I think it's cut off.
But it's just the one though. It's just UD. It just has UD. It doesn't have any like split or anything.
I'll tell you what it is right now.
I can find it obviously, but I'm pissed I can't show it.
I have it right here. Okay, Max Holloway.
Yeah.
Unanimous decision.
Yeah.
2.87 to 1.
Yeah.
Max Holloway split majority decision 7 to 1.
Holy shit balls. Are you fucking kidding me? Okay, now we're talking. Now we're cooking. I love to get crazy with stuff like that.
You think he tips it back on the split decision this time? Like he's gonna be so mad when he hears it's gonna be another split decision, but you think he squeaks out the split this time?
I think it's totally possible. I think
Kattar's 5-1. Kattar's 5-1 unanimous, which I wouldn't bet. I would not bet that.
No, of course not. You'd be a fucking.
But Kattar's split majority 11-1. I'm going to bet that.
I would bet that too, just because we've seen Max lose on the cards.
Exactly. He's been screwed by the judges. He'd say twice. I'd say once.
Conspiracy theory going on here that we're not seeing here, folks.
They're trying to maybe move him out of. I don't know. I'm not on board with that. But I'm putting 2 units on Calvin Kattar split majority decision.
That means $20 for you.
No. You don't need to say. I don't know. All I have to say is 2 units. You don't need to worry about what it actually is. That's why I said it.
That's why all those bitches say it, because sometimes units mean
cents
for them. Like Sherman's units are cents.
Sherman doesn't have units. He has fucking scraps. Scraps from the Betway gods.
As far as late subs and shit go, I don't think we're gonna see anything like that happen. Maybe see a
late shout out
Boone.
Shout out
Boone for his.
What's his pick?
Where I'm showing it for him right here is Max Holloway 3rd round submission, 41 to 1. I will throw $1 or 2 on it just because he was liking that. I don't really see it happening at all, but I will. I
don't know, a late because we saw Kattar go 5 rounds.
Mm-hmm.
Against Ige, who was a very game opponent.
Mm-hmm.
But he was winning that entire fight.
Mm-hmm.
We haven't seen him go 5 rounds after taking significant amount of damage, which he might at the beginning of the fight.
Mm-hmm.
But we saw him come back after getting hurt early against Zabit and having a very strong 2 rounds and coming on even stronger. Like he's a tough Boston guy. Like we gotta sometimes you gotta factor these kind of things in. It's a very you got a guy from Boston versus a guy from Hawaii. They're both.
You sound high as fuck right now.
No, I know, but I'm just more
keep going. Just keep going with what point you're gonna make here.
I am very high, but I'm just trying to say. I don't know. You kind of threw me off, but pretty much what I was saying. It's 2 guys. No, I'm just saying that it's 2 very tough game guys. We're probably going to see it go the distance. We've never seen Max Holloway get knocked down.
We've never seen Calvin Kattar get knocked down, have we?
I don't know.
We said that last night.
I haven't. I need to watch the Moicano fight again. I'm probably going to do that.
Oh yeah, because that was leg kicks. Oh
but
yeah, because we're probably not calling that a knockdown. But yeah, whatever.
He said I haven't watched it yet. I don't even know if he did get knocked down.
Both guys have,
but he got finished.
Chins. Both guys have fabulous chins. You know what I mean? That's what we're kind of trying to say. They're not.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. He got hit by Ige.
Yeah, absolutely. As far as if anyone
and
wants
Zabit,
to come in and talk, share some.
Throw up the other photo.
Share some knowledge about bets. Talk about the fights at all.
I'm not mad about a late prop bet on either guy though. I don't think anybody's getting started early.
Yeah, let me do this properly like I did it yesterday. We'll keep talking and then I'll do a send off so I can clip it at that. You know what I mean?
Okay, do it properly this time then.
I'm going to. Thanks everybody that was listening live. As far as currently, I'm not ending the stream, but I just want to as far as this point goes, as far as the YouTube video goes, this is going to be it for the bet breakdown video. I'm going to condense it a little bit more, but I appreciate everybody. I would appreciate if you come subscribe to my YouTube channel, hit the reminder bell to see every time I go live. I would also tell you to tune into DT3 the Boon Man. We're doing a podcast every Tuesday, Combat Cannon, and that's a podcast where we're basically just going to talk about a little bit of MMA news. We're going to talk about our opinions on some certain headlines. We're going to get Boone's experience and knowledge from him being a trainer and stuff like that, and him being a Taekwondo fan and a mixed martial arts fan himself. As far as all that goes, I would really appreciate that, guys. Thanks for tuning in. I'll catch you later. Bye. But yeah, guys, we're gonna keep this stream going now. That's just me ending that shit. As far as the link goes, here it is.
Masterclass.
Thanks, man.
No problem. Anytime. Is there anybody? I don't even know. We haven't seen.
Yeah, I haven't really seen anyone that wants to come in and talk MMA, but feel free. Anyone that wants to come in.
Appearances from like LJ or unless I want Sherm to hop in here right now, though, just for the hell of it. Come on. So I want Sherm to come talk about Holloway and the Holloway decision and why he loves it so much. Yeah, please.